friends, welcome back. It is Yenzi with the Blue Plum Bob back again today doing a combination speed build and create a sim video. Today we are working with the Roomies Household. So they came with base game. They live primarily in Oasis Springs right when you load up the game. They're actually based off of the characters from New Girl, which is great. I love New Girl. So actually when it came to doing this build, I was referencing New Girl. And by that I mean I was using this as an excuse to watch a ton of New Girl again. It's been a while since I've watched it, so going back and rewatching some of the episodes I don't remember as well was really fun. This house looks a little bit different than my usual stuff. If you've been following along, I've done quite a few different mid-century modern house builds recently. As well as some trailer homes in Oasis Springs. This one, though, happens to be quite different from some of the other stuff I've been working on. So, yeah, you can see here this has a pretty interesting layout. Promise it doesn't look this weird by the end. I do quite a bit of fiddling with the exterior, and actually there were relatively many moments where I thought, ugh, maybe I should scrap this and start over. I did have a reference photo in mind. I don't have it anymore, though. I lost it. It wasn't on Pinterest or anything. I literally just did a Google search of mid-century modern houses, and it came up. But you can see here, just plotting out the path to the house and putting in some columns there. I think I end up filling that in with some more fence. Yeah, so this one comes from, I think it comes from either City Living or... what's the other one? The Windenburg Get Together. I got those two packs like in a bundle when I first got them, so when I think of those two, I always think of them together because I got them together when I was buying them. Yeah, so this is, I think, relatively the finished shape of the exterior. Just trying to see if I want to add some trim to the outside. I do add it just to this one portion. To connect the fence and the pillars a little bit better to the top. And you'll have to forgive me for my cat. She's being extra noisy and needy lately. So here we go, putting some windows on. Again, using the Snowy Escape windows. I just love them. They're like a perfect size, honestly. So easy to use. This garage ends up being closed off and kind of transformed into a guest bedroom. So I imagine this is where Zoe Patel lives. She gets her own private bedroom and bathroom on the other side of the house. The other three are on the other side of the other side of the house. So this floor plan is semi-accurate. Doesn't quite stay this way. We end up closing off this wall to between the kitchen and the hallway, as you just saw right there, and then opening up the rest of it. So when you walk into this house, you are walking basically right by the kitchen. You'll see what I mean when I start furnishing that. In the back of the house, we have this living space. I end up moving that second sliding glass door to figure this out. But right now you can see doing some more fiddling. I end up making Zoe Patel's bedroom a lot bigger. But it takes me a little bit to get there. So I did leave in kind of the struggle of figuring out this floor plan just because, honestly, I find floor plan really interesting when it comes to me building my own speed builds, or when it comes to me watching speed builds, rather. So in my own speed builds, I want to give you guys that, in case you're also interested in that. But this, I believe, is the finished floor plan. So now we're going ahead, adding some doors to everything. And then I should be adding some lights, yep, so you can see a little bit clearer what I'm doing here. But yeah, this is the completed floor plan, and we start in the kitchen. So I end up using this stuff in the Cool Kitchen pack. I don't think I stick with this shade. I think I end up switching it to brown on brown. Maybe I leave it this way. I can't quite remember. I built this a couple weeks ago. I've been kind of stalling on actually recording this voiceover though, because there's quite a bit to talk about. Yeah, and then we don't end up having a separate dining room, but we do put a dining table in this corner here. You can see I'm picking one out. We end up going for a round one. And this one is custom content, but it's basically just a solid white. And then we use the bowling stuffed chairs, also in that white shade. And then I think we use the matching bar stools around the kitchen as well. Picking an end table to put in the hallway. I hate furnishing hallways. It's my least favorite area to furnish for obvious reasons. It's really hard to do it justice, I think. But yeah, you see those matching bar stools right there. We end up putting a shelf from Eco Lifestyle with all the plants in right here next to the door, just to fill out the space a little bit. Usually I would go with my standard like umbrella stand and coat rack and all that, but in Oasis Springs it doesn't really rain, nor does it get cold enough for them to wear coats and stuff. I do put a microphone right there too, just as a general skill building item, just because to have it there. Yeah, using the appliances from the Cool Kitchen Stuff Pack. Looking at it now, I think I do actually leave it with this white color. Or if I change it, it's way later in the video. But yeah. You'll notice I haven't done the flooring or the walls yet. That's because, especially lately, for some reason I've been kind of adopting like Lil Simsy's method of doing things, where she will wait until she's about done with the build and then pick out something that matches or something like that. For some reason, like I used to every single time go in, flooring wallpaper is the first thing I put in, and if it needs changing, I'll change it later. But lately I've kind of just been like, not doing that. So here we are furnishing Zoe's bedroom. You can see she definitely has the largest bedroom of anyone. Which I think is well deserved. I love Zooey Deschanel's part in New Girl and her character Jess. She's phenomenal. I think she fits the role really well. We end up putting a little wall divider in between this section and the little study section. I imagine she still is a teacher in this universe. I haven't gone in and changed like their careers and everything, but I did go ahead and change quite a bit of other stuff about them when I did their creative sim. You can see me just putting some fairy lights there. I think soon here I'm going to pick out, we end up using the Get Famous wall divider. And we have a cat with us. No, you cannot step right there. She has been ultra needy lately, haven't you? She's here to watch. So yeah. Here we are furnishing Zoe's bathroom. Again, it is an ensuite. It's just for her. I figured when it comes to being one woman in a house with 3 other men, I personally would not be able to tolerate sharing a bathroom with them. So I gave her her own bathroom because I love her so much. Yeah, just carrying on with this yellow theme. We've got yellow towels and a yellow robe. We've got a kitty who needs attention. Alright, butt in the camera. And moving on to the living room here. I think the living room turned out alright. I ended up putting in a fake fireplace because real fireplaces don't make sense. Here's me just looking around and kind of observing everything, making sure it all fits rather well together. Trying to make sure I am pleased with what I'm doing. We will go back in a minute. Oh, no we won't. I guess we'll do the outside. I've been using a lot of this sandstone, actually, from the fitness stuff pack on the outside of these builds. And this stone, I believe, is from Discovery University, I think. I'm pretty sure, yeah. I think that's something like I don't remember what it's called, but it is from Discovery University. And then going in with these slats from Spa Day, I think that looks really nice together. And then going ahead, adding the white trim to the top, and then going ahead, messing with the roofing a bit as well. A cat in the hair. Hello. How you doing? Oh, yeah. Just... So, we're working on the roof here. Yeah? Oh my goodness. You're so sweet. Yeah, sniff my face. Okay, bye. No, you cannot go on my desk. I know. Working back in the living room now. This couch is custom content. I don't think I end up sticking with that one, though. I think I go with a different set. because it's a little awkward. It's very long and it didn't really fit this space well. I do like it and I do try to use it rather often, but I don't think it's a perfect fit for this build in particular. Meow indeed. Please stop rubbing your face on the desk. Oh my goodness. Yeah, trying to do something with the built-ins here. I thought it looked really strange though. I think I end up getting rid of all of it and just replacing it with that fake fireplace, like I said. Here we go, we just scrapped everything. This is a different set of custom content furniture, but it looks a lot better in the space, so I end up going with that. And right now we're going to go ahead and put in the fake fireplace. After a moment of deliberating about putting in an end table, thought it didn't look big enough, so I went ahead and put this in the space, and then we put in a huge TV above. I imagine Schmitty, whose name is Jay Huntington in this version, I imagine he pays for a lot of the stuff like that, and that he takes care of the expenses for most of that stuff. But yeah, there's nothing too special about this living space. It is just a simple couch set, and then we put a game table over here, actually, kind of as an homage to all of the ridiculous games they play in the show. And then going ahead, adding some bookshelves in here, just standard for skill building. And a little bit later on, we go back in this empty corner off to the right of the living room, we put in the globe bar, because I hardly ever use that. I couldn't find space for a regular bar, but of course Mitchell is a bartender, just like Nick, and actually we're working on his bedroom right now. So I figured he probably would have the smallest bedroom of all of them, so I gave him the smallest bedroom. It's still relatively decently sized, though. I mean, I don't want to say that, actually. It's not. It's very small. We're not missing any of the essentials, though. I think instead of a dresser, I may give him a mirror, or I put a dresser in front of this window. Again, I can't really quite remember, just because it was a couple weeks ago that they built this, but here you can see putting that globe bar in just so we can have it, just so he can build his skill in the house for his job. I end up putting in one of these little bubble blowers because I figure that makes some sense for him. Just one chair. I don't know if you guys have seen Salim Benali's apartment. He's from Get Together, or City Living, sorry. He's from City Living, and in his apartment, he literally has one of those bubble blowers with a single, like, fold-up lawn chair seat, and it's kind of sad, but it's also really funny to me. Here we go, just finding a rug that'll fit the space, and then we are moving on. I did Schmitty, aka Jay Huntington's bedroom next, because I thought it would be easy. I had an idea in mind. Basically just make it look as bougie as possible without making it look super expensive. And then we end up putting a desk across from the bed. We don't stick with that there. We end up switching this layout just because I thought it would be a little bit tricky to get through there. So I give him a really nice computer, and then I end up using this custom content. It's these dressers that have mirrors on the door, so it functions both as a dresser and a mirror, and it looks really, really nice. Then just trying to pick out some curtains, going ahead and putting those up. Those are from Dream Home Decorator. And then dropping a rug in here, and that's pretty much it. Moving on to Gavin's bedroom, who is Winston in the show. I thought Gavin, aka Winston, would have a really fashionable bedroom. I can't quite remember if we've seen his bedroom in the show, but just like the impression I get from him is that he would have like a really fashionable, high-end looking bedroom. I don't know why. Maybe it's a combination of like my impression of Winston and my impression of the sim Gavin. And so that's how we come up with this design. We've got, I end up putting a pretty bougie rug in here. I think it's a leopard print one, or a zebra print. I don't know why I always mess those up. Yep, zebra print. And then we go ahead and put a very simple abstract painting up on the wall. And then we're going ahead into the men's bathroom. So I believe there's just a tub in here, which maybe isn't the best idea, but I totally thought, since there's that episode where they try to get like a tub up on the roof and then it collapses and it ruins all of Schmitty's suits or whatever, I was totally thinking that they would do well with a tub. Finally going in here, getting something on the walls. I use this white plaster everywhere, and then I go in with some accents a little bit later, but trying to pick a wood floor for the place, I end up going with this one, and then picking out some tile, of course, adding those to the kitchen and both of the bathrooms. I use the sandstone as an accent in a couple rooms, and then I think I also use some of the brick as accent as well. And I really like how it turned out. I think it looks relatively decent, in my humble opinion. And then, yeah, going outside. I'm very scatterbrained in this. I really need to watch these beforehand and just, like, take some notes on what the hell I'm doing. But we're adding a fence along the backyard. It's open. It doesn't have a gate in the front, but you can get there directly from the garage area. So then we end up making this patio. This ends up being a place for a swimming pool. I was going to put a hot tub, but then again, I was like, we are still in Oasis Springs. It is very hot. I don't know if you need a hot tub. Of course, it would probably be nice still. I don't know if your Sims can overheat from being in a hot tub in a hot climate. I'm really not sure about that. And then I thought about putting a hot tub. You can see right here, I'm kind of planning out an area for a hot tub, and then I end up undoing that because it didn't feel quite right to me. Adding some shrubs in both the front and backyard, and yeah, just lining the front here with some of those same shrubs, trying to give it some dimension aside from this. Do I put a grill out here? I put an outdoor trash can, and I realize I don't have one inside, so I go ahead and drop one in there. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. We've got a mailbox in there. I do some landscaping after I put some 3 planter boxes back here. Genuinely, when it comes to backyards, I struggle so much to furnish them, and I don't know how to remedy that. It's gonna take a lot of practice, I think, so it's something I have to work on, but yeah, just going ahead, landscaping this like I have been for all of my other Oasis Spring builds, using these Poke Plants, the base game palm trees, and then some of the Oopsa Daisies, I think is what they're called. And then just going ahead, filling in some dirt, making it look a bit more realistic. And that is just about it for the house. Well, I think we go around all of here. I end up adding a little bit more right in there. And then we go a little bit smaller with these shrubs, just so they fit in there. And then I think I put like a couch outside. And that is about it for the exterior. Going in, adding some shades to this window because I forgot to do that. And then adding this brick accent in as well to some of the walls that I think could use it. And there we go, into Create a Sim. So, well, first off, I had to go back out so I could edit everything about them. But here we are starting with Zoe Patel. I don't believe I changed their traits aside from Zoe's goofball trait, because if you don't know this, if your Sims have the goofball trait, they will autonomously prank your toilet, and it is so irritating. It is the most irritating, like, factor of gameplay, pretty much of all time, in my humble opinion. I had 2 Sims who were goofballs by randomizing traits in one of my legacy challenges. I was like, who is constantly pranking my toilets? They end up broken so often. I figured it out, and let me tell you, I will never again. If my Sim gets the goofball trait, I will do something else. Anyway. Cat is back. Hello. She's demanding scritches. Anyway, working on Zoe Patel's appearance here. I changed the hairstyle because I think that hair from base game is kind of ugly, in my humble opinion. Going ahead, giving her some fun makeup. Considering she is a elementary school teacher, I still wanted to keep her, like, fun and happy and bubbly in whatever she was wearing. We end up going in with some blush, And some bright red lipstick. I felt like that was really characteristic of her. I changed her body type to be slightly more resemblant of Zooey Deschanel. And then we go through here and we pick out her outfits. Are you okay? Would you like to come up? Yes? Well, come here. She's a cutie. Anyway, we end up going with this dress from Pet Stuff, I think? Cats and Dogs? Maybe. And then the leggings are from either Vampire Stuff or Spooky something. But I wanted to go with bright reds, or not yet reds. I wanted to go with bright yellows and oranges. If you guys don't know, in a couple other videos, I have talked about how my favorite colors in the world are orange, yellow, and pink. And I thought since Zoe was very bubbly and she's got the goofball trait, even though I end up taking it away, it would make sense for her to really like these bright colors as well. So here for her formal outfit, I try to find something also fitting of her personality. I think we stick with this yellow dress. I think it's really pretty. Maybe we go in, I think we go in and try to find something a little bit more fitting. Do we succeed though is the question. I don't know if I go back to that dress or not. I did both of these like weeks ago, so you'll have to forgive me for not knowing what's coming next. I guess we end up going with that mustard yellow dress in the end. I've talked about this in other cast videos, and I'm going to talk about it again. When it comes to creating active and sleepwear outfits, as well as swimming outfits, I always make sure the sim isn't wearing makeup. It feels really stupid to me that sims automatically are wearing makeup to bed, and while they're working out, and while they're swimming. Does not make sense to me, so I always remove that from their outfits. Then, here we are going and picking out her sleepwear outfit. I think we end up going for something really cutesy. Yep, we've got socks, and usually I don't put slippers on my Sims when they go to bed, because personally, I don't wear slippers to bed, and I think it's dumb to have your Sims wear those into bed, but it felt really fitting for her. So I went ahead and let it slide. Here we are in her party outfit, just scrolling through, trying to find something for her to wear. Again, doing the whole yellow-orange color scheme. Is this what we end up going with? I don't think it is, but it's a cute outfit. Maybe it is. I like those shorts, but we just moved away from them. I really should have watched this beforehand and taken some notes on what to say. Oh, so we do end up changing the top a little bit and giving her a more, like, paisley yellow. Do I stick with those? Okay. I guess I do. It makes sense for her personality to wear stuff like that and lots of patterns and lots of activity, should we say. I really liked this top. I end up having to change it though because the colors are not similar enough. Or perhaps a little bit too similar so you can tell that they're different. If that makes sense. Are you back? She's back again, folks. Come here, Nebby. Oh my goodness. She just needs some hugs. She's just having a bad day. Today, I took my cat out in the snow for the first time. It snowed and it stuck last night. So I put her on a little leash and we took a little tromp around and she experienced snow for the first time. It was very cute until I saw a dog, and the dog was very much just staring from a distance. Didn't get close enough to actually hurt her. But I could tell that he was getting very excited and very intrigued by what was going on with this animal. So I took her back inside and we warmed up and she loved the snow. And it was a very fun experience. I should have taken some pictures, but I was a little preoccupied making sure like she was okay with her leash. It's her first time using a leash and she didn't really understand it. She kind of started to get it in the end when I kind of loosened it a little bit for her, and told her to walk, and like I could follow her so she wasn't tugging on it or anything. I know cats usually aren't used to leashes. So yeah, she ended up doing really good, and she really liked it. But we are on to Mitchell now. I'm just changing some of the facial features to make his face look a little less base game Sims. Right now it kind of looks like human Shrek from Shrek 2. But that changes, I think. I try to change it. I don't know if I succeed very much. I also changed his body type a little bit just because, like, in the show, he's kind of a chubby guy, but not nearly as much as in The Sims. So I ended up going in and changing that. Changing some of his outfits again. When it comes to making male Sims, it's like a double, like, I like it and I hate it for the same reason. I like it because, like, I usually don't put makeup on my male Sims, so it takes a lot less time to go through and do create a sim for male Sims. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't usually do makeup, and like it's just really easy. All I really do is, change their outfits. I don't change their hair or anything, unless they have longer hair, and then I do sometimes change stuff. Are you comfortable just hanging over the edge of my chair like this? She's doing okay. Anyway, just picking out a little swimsuit for him, taking off all of the accessories that they put on for hot and cold weather. I gave him this relaxed shirt from Laundry Day because that feels like something he would wear. And then finally wrapping up, giving him some cold weather outfits. Think we go with just this plain red and then give him some standard jeans and some boots and call it a day. I think those are sweatpants actually. But yeah, I kept his likes. Well, I went in and changed some of his likes and dislikes. I think I made them all like mischief. I also changed his aspiration to be a mixologist because that is what he wants to be in the show. He actually went to law school and then passed the bar exam, to become a lawyer, but he ended up not wanting to do that, so he ended up quitting and becoming a bartender instead. And yeah, we're going in now, touching up Jay Huntington the Third. Are you okay? She's tangled in my headphone cords. Doing the same thing, kind of making his facial features look a little bit better, and then changing the hairstyle because I hated it. I do not like that big, huge bouffant thing going on, so I just gave him a standard, shave down the sides, very much looks typical of him, and I ended up having to change it in every single outfit. I think I mentioned this before too. It's a little bit irritating when you change the everyday wear for a sim and then it doesn't automatically change the rest of their hairs, so you have to go in and find it. It's especially bothersome for males because for males, like I just mentioned, I use the same hairstyle the entire way through. Do I go with a crop top for him? I totally do. I was thinking about that. I was like, I think I put him in a crop top for his athletic wear, and I totally do. It looks very good on him, and I can totally see him doing that. And sleeping in just boxers, totally a Jay Huntington Schmitty type thing to do. Yeah, going in, giving him a really snazzy party outfit. You've probably noticed that his everyday outfit is very business casual as well. I thought that was a good idea considering Schmitty's job and his need to look put together at all times. That's kind of his style. And then here we go, finishing up for his cold weather outfit, going with something with a nice coat and a vest so he looks just as snazzy as usual. Do I change his aspiration too? I think I might. No, I don't. But finally, going in with Gavin Richards, again, touching up his facial features, changing the shape of all of their faces, essentially, so, the eyebrows don't look so weird. Sometimes the eyebrows, look kind of crooked on their face just because of the way their face is shaped, which is really interesting to me, but also kind of bothersome, so I got rid of it here. And then I think I changed his facial hair to not be that goatee, but something else. I do give him a short hairstyle. I end up going with this slicked back look. I know that's not really how Winston's hair looks, but again, going with this idea, like a Gavin-Winston hybrid, it really made sense to me. So I end up going with that all the way through and having to change it every single time again. Going with a nice white suit here, then going in for our athletic wear. Basically, yeah, there's not much to say here. Just changing their outfits kind of to represent the personalities I think they have. I didn't change the sleepwear because to me it felt normal enough. I was like, all right, we'll stick with it. Hot weather, we go ahead and just give him a polo shirt, and then cold weather, we go in and give him a coat that looks better than what he had before. And that is just about it. I go back in and change the hairstyle because I was neglecting to do so the past couple times, just to make sure that the hair all matches up. Like I said, sometimes it's easier to go back and do that all at once. And then here I am just picking out a different pair of glasses for him to wear and then applying them to all of the outfits. Practical. And yep, we leave him as wanting to be a writer because at one point he does want to be a writer. And then we give him a like and the dislike scale. And now we are moving on to screenshots. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're looking for more content by me, there will surely be a couple playlists linked down below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed as much as I enjoyed building and putting this together for you. And I hope you guys have an awesome day. Bye!